LIV golf scandal. Fans say Bryson DeChambeau cheated by trampling the putting line. This isn't clickbait. It is the most explosive moment of the 2026 season. One of golf's most polarizing figures just got caught in a controversy that could change everything. The R&A got involved, and what happened next left everyone questioning what they saw. And honestly, the pure, unadulterated frustration makes me want to scream. Regular working people are struggling to afford a weekend round at their local course, yet these country club elites are throwing fits over some trampled grass. It is absolutely ridiculous, proving these athletes care more about their egos than the integrity of the game. But look past the surface outrage. Bryson DeChambeau isn't just fighting about grass. He's fighting about something much bigger. The R&A's decision opened a door that no one saw coming. Let me walk you through exactly what happened that day, why the golf world is now at war, and how this one moment might have changed everything for one of the game's biggest names. Personally, I think Bryson got a raw deal. Do you agree he was treated unfairly? Drop it below. And if you want the real story behind the headlines, that's what this channel is about. Subscribe. Royal Birkdale, Friday, July 17th, 2026. The second round of the Open Championship. Bryson DeChambeau was playing some of the best golf of his career. The fans were actually cheering for him. He was near the top of the leaderboard. Everything was going right. And then he arrived at the fifth hole. His tee shot missed the fairway. Not by much, just enough to find trouble. The rough at Birkdale is famous for being brutal. Knee-high grass that swallows balls and destroys scorecards. Bryson walked up to his ball. He looked at the lie. He started to plan his escape. Birkdale is one of the toughest courses on the open rota. It has hosted some of the most dramatic moments in golf history. The rough is thick. The fairways are narrow. The wind can change in an instant. Players know that Birkdale does not forgive mistakes. It punishes them. Bryson knew all of this. He had prepared for it. But nothing could have prepared him for what was about to happen. The fifth hole at Birkdale is a par 4 that plays just over 400 yards. It is not the longest hole on the course, but it is one of the most dangerous. The fairway is tight. The rough on both sides is deep. If you miss the fairway, you are in trouble. Bryson missed it. Not by a lot, but enough. The cameras zoomed in on him. He was standing in the deep fescue. The grass was up to his knees. He was assessing his options. He was trying to figure out how to get the ball back into play. He was thinking about his swing, about his club selection, about the wind, about everything except the cameras. But the TV cameras caught something that made viewers do a double take. As Bryson stood over his ball, he appeared to be walking in a very particular way. High steps, deliberate ones, like he was flattening something behind his ball. The area where his backswing would travel. The area where that thick grass could grab his club. Now, Bryson later explained he was just reading his line. Standard stuff. Every golfer does it. But the R&A officials watching the broadcast saw something different. They saw a potential violation, a breach of a rule that every player knows well. Rule 8.1a, the rule about improving conditions for your stroke. Here is where it gets tricky. Under the rules of golf, intention does not matter. It does not matter if Bryson meant to do something. It does not matter if he was just being careless. If the action happened, the penalty stands. That is the rule. No exceptions. The R&A officials huddled together. They watched the footage again and again. They slowed it down. They zoomed in. They discussed it from every angle. They knew that any decision they made would be controversial. If they gave Bryson a penalty, his fans would be furious. If they did not give a penalty, other players would be furious. There was no easy way out. This was not the first time Bryson had been involved in controversy. He had been in the middle of disputes before. He had argued with officials. He had clashed with other players. He had challenged the rules. But this was different. This was a major championship. The scrutiny was intense. The cameras were everywhere. The world was watching. Bryson had built his reputation on being different. He played a unique style of golf. He used equipment that others did not use. He approached the game like a scientist. That made him a target. Some people loved him for it. Some people hated him for it. But everyone watched him. So the R&A made a decision. They reviewed the footage again and again, and then they made the call that would change everything for Bryson DeChambeau. A penalty was coming, but the real drama had not even started yet, because Bryson was still on the golf course. He had no idea what was about to hit him when he walked off the 18th green. That decision would have been enough to destroy most players' tournaments. But what happened next made that penalty look like the easy part. Bryson signed his scorecard. He had just birdied the 18th. He was walking off the green feeling good. One shot off the lead. In contention. The fans were cheering. Then he saw them. R&A officials. Waiting for him. They told him he was under investigation. Bryson's face changed. The smile disappeared. He knew exactly what they were talking about. The fifth hole. The grass. The cameras. What followed was over an hour of pure chaos. The officials drove Bryson back to the fifth hole in a buggy. They wanted to reenact the scene. They showed him the TV footage. They pointed at the grass. They explained the rule. Bryson argued back. He said he was just standing behind his ball, reading his line. Nothing more. He said he did not mean to improve anything. He said the cameras were showing something that was not really there. He was passionate. He was loud. He was not backing down. The officials listened. They let him speak. They let him explain. But they had already made up their minds. The footage was clear. Bryson had trampled the grass. The rule was clear. He had improved his lie. The penalty was inevitable. Bryson was furious. He was shouting. He was pacing. He was pointing at the grass. He was pointing at the sky. He was pointing at the officials. He was demanding they change their decision. They did not. This was not just about the penalty. It was about something deeper. Bryson felt targeted. He felt that the R&A was singling him out. He felt that other players got away with things that he never could. He felt that the officials did not like his style. They did not like his attitude. They did not like that he was different. But the R&A had already made up their minds. At 21:35 that night, the announcement came. 2-stroke penalty. Bryson's 66 became a 68. His position on the leaderboard dropped like a stone. The room went quiet. Bryson looked absolutely livid. His eyes were burning, his jaw was tight, and then he dropped the bomb. He threatened to withdraw from the entire championship, pull out completely, walk away. His agent, Brett Falkoff, told reporters, "Let's see if he shows up tomorrow." The tournament was now in limbo. Everyone was waiting. Bryson's threat sent shockwaves through the golf world. Players were stunned. Officials were scrambling. Fans were confused. Was he really going to quit? Was he really going to walk away from a major championship? The answer was unclear, but Bryson was serious. He was not just threatening. He was preparing to leave. He told his team to pack his bags. He told his caddy to get ready to go. He told his agent to start working on a statement. He was done. He had had enough. But Bryson was just getting started. He was not done fighting. Not even close. He still had one more move. And it was the most shocking one of all. Reports started surfacing. Bryson wanted to call Donald Trump, the former president. He wanted Trump to help get the decision overturned. He believed Trump could pressure the R&A into changing their minds. It sounds like something from a movie, but it really happened. The connection was not random. Bryson had played golf with Trump before. They had spoken multiple times. Bryson admired Trump's business acumen. Trump admired Bryson's golf game. There was a relationship there, a real one. Bryson believed that Trump's influence could make a difference. He believed that Trump could call the R&A and make them reconsider. He believed that Trump could use his political weight to get the decision reversed. It was a long shot. But Bryson was desperate. Trump later commented publicly. His response was short and brutal. "Give me a break. Ridiculous." Bryson was not done yet. He went to the driving range, in the dark, with only the floodlights, and he started hitting balls, hard, one after another. Reporters stood watching. Bryson was furious. He kept going. People started leaving. He did not stop. The floodlights at Birkdale cast long shadows across the range. Bryson was alone, just him and his golf clubs. He was hitting driver after driver. The sound of the clubs striking the ball echoed through the night. It was loud. It was aggressive. It was Bryson. Then he did something unexpected. He asked reporters if they wanted his snacks. It was such a strange human moment. The guy who just threatened to quit a major championship was offering chips to journalists. It was bizarre. It was pure Bryson. Around midnight, Bryson posted on social media. He wrote, "Obviously disappointed with the ruling. I don't agree with it, but it is what it is. This fires me up. On to the weekend. Let's get it. But the weekend was just getting started, and the worst was yet to come. The rest of the locker room was watching, and they had very different opinions about what they saw. The first player to speak up was the world number one, Scottie Scheffler. Scheffler is not the type to speak out often. He keeps his head down, he focuses on his game, he let the chaos settle for 2 full days. Then he finally spoke. Scheffler finished tied for 4th at Birkdale. He had his own tournament to worry about. But when he got asked about Bryson, he did not hold back. "I've known him for a long time," Scheffler said. "He's a lot of things, but he's definitely not a cheater. I have never seen him cheat once. Not in a putting contest, not in a chipping contest, not in amateur golf. Never." Scheffler's words carried weight. He is the best player in the world. His opinion matters. He had played with Bryson many times. He knew his game. He knew his character, and he was willing to defend him publicly. Scheffler explained that Bryson might have been careless. The pressure of the moment, the thick rough, the TV cameras everywhere. Things can look different on screen. Bryson was trying to figure out the shot. He probably was not thinking about the rule. Scheffler also pointed out that Bryson is one of the most scrutinized players in the game. Every shot he hits is shown on TV. Every movement he makes is analyzed. That makes it harder for him to get the benefit of the doubt. When other players do something similar, no one notices. When Bryson does it, everyone sees. Scheffler spoke with the calm authority of a player who has been through everything. He has won major championships. He has dealt with pressure. He has faced controversy. He knows what it is like to be under the microscope, and he believes that Bryson was not trying to cheat. But Scheffler also said something important. He said golf needs stricter policing, more consistency. The rules should be applied the same way for everyone. Maybe we do need to police things a little bit stricter, Scheffler said. The world number one had spoken, but not everyone in the locker room was willing to give Bryson the benefit of the doubt. Rory McIlroy was watching from the players' lounge, and he had a very different take. McIlroy saw the incident live, and his reaction was immediate. As soon as he made the step into the ball, we all sort of looked at each other, and we were like, "That didn't seem right," McIlroy said. McIlroy did not defend Bryson. He did not offer excuses. He was blunt. He said there was no doubt that Bryson improved the line of his backswing. He said it did not matter if it was careless or intentional. The penalty was justified. But McIlroy did not stop there. He went after Bryson personally. "I won't pretend to be up here and defend Bryson," McIlroy said. "I'm not particularly fond of him. I think a lot of it's performative. I think a lot of it's for attention." McIlroy was furious about something else too. He said Bryson held the tournament hostage. Everyone had to wait. The players, the volunteers, the officials, the fans. To hold the tournament hostage like that, I didn't feel like it was a great look, McIlroy said. McIlroy's comments were harsh, but they were not surprising. He has never been a fan of Bryson. They have clashed before. They have different approaches to the game, different philosophies, different personalities. The tension between them has been building for years. McIlroy was also frustrated because Bryson's antics were taking attention away from the tournament. The focus should have been on the golf, on the leaderboard, on the race for the claret jug. Instead, everyone was talking about Bryson and the penalty. McIlroy thought that was unfair to the other players. There was history between these two. McIlroy had criticized Bryson before. He had called him out for slow play. He had questioned his equipment choices. He had mocked his approach to the game. Bryson had responded by ignoring McIlroy. But the tension was always there. Two of the biggest names in golf. Complete opposite opinions. The locker room was officially divided. McIlroy wasn't the only one with strong feelings. Others in the field had just as much to say. Justin Thomas was more sympathetic. He said he genuinely did not think Bryson cheated intentionally, but he also agreed the penalty was correct. "When I saw that, I'm like, that's too much," Thomas said. "Whether you're trying to do it or not, if you're doing something borderline, you're going to be penalized." Thomas also pointed out that Bryson is one of the most scrutinized players on tour. Every shot is shown on TV, every movement is analyzed. That makes it harder to give him the benefit of the doubt. But Thomas still believed Bryson did not cheat. Thomas has always been one of the more thoughtful players on tour. He thinks before he speaks. He considers both sides of an argument. He tried to see Bryson's perspective. He tried to see the officials' perspective. He landed somewhere in the middle. Max Homa went further. He criticized the decision. He said the two-stroke penalty was too harsh. He believed Bryson did not deserve that level of punishment. Homa said the R&A should have considered the circumstances. The thick rough, the pressure of the moment, the fact that Bryson was trying to win a major. Homa is known for being outspoken. He is not afraid to share his opinions. And he was clear about where he stood. He thought the penalty was excessive. He thought Bryson was being treated unfairly. Shane Lowry had his own experience to draw on. At the 2025 Open, Lowry received a two-stroke penalty for a similar incident. He said the punishment was fair. He knew exactly what Bryson was going through, and he agreed with the R&A's decision. If it happened to me, I would have accepted it, Lowry said. The rules are the rules. Lowry's perspective was unique. He had been in Bryson's position. He had felt the frustration. He had felt the anger. But he had also accepted the decision. He had moved on. He thought Bryson should do the same. Marco Penge also supported the officials. He said the rules exist for a reason. He did not think Bryson was a cheat, but he thought the penalty was justified. The rule is clear, Penge said. You cannot improve your lie. It doesn't matter if you meant to or not. Penge is one of the younger players on tour. He is still learning, but he understands the rules. He respects them, and he thought the officials made the right call. Grant Moir from the R&A made the official statement. He said Bryson was penalized for inadvertently improving the area of his intended swing. He said the rule applies even when the action is accidental. The players had their say. Then the fans at Birkdale made their voices heard. The crowd at Royal Birkdale surprised everyone. Most of them actually supported Bryson. They cheered for him. They clapped for him. They wanted him to do well. But there was one moment that got everyone talking. On Saturday, during the third round, Bryson was on the 18th green. He was lining up a putt. The crowd was quiet. And then a voice shouted from somewhere in the stands, "Bryson, you cheat!" It was a thick Liverpudlian accent. The crowd reacted instantly. Boos. Groans. They did not want to hear that. They told the heckler to shut up. They were on Bryson's side. Bryson's response was classy. He did not get angry. He did not react badly. He signed a ball for one fan. He signed a glove for another. He took off his hat. He waved to the Birkdale crowd as he walked off. But he refused to speak to the media all week. He walked past journalists. He bypassed the mixed zone. He headed straight to the driving range. He had nothing to say to them. Some fans were angry at Bryson for not speaking. They wanted answers. But others understood. He was frustrated. He felt wronged. He did not want to say something he would regret. The fans were divided. Some thought he cheated. Some thought he was unfairly penalized. Some thought he should have handled it better. Some thought he did everything right. There was no consensus. British fans are known for being passionate. They love their golf. They love their traditions. And they love a good controversy. Bryson gave them all of that. He was the villain. He was the hero. He was the center of attention. The fans made their feelings clear. But Bryson's wallet felt the real sting. This controversy cost Bryson real money. Serious money. Without the penalty, he would have finished tied for 6th. That would have earned him £384,000. That is about $500,000. With the penalty, he finished tied for 14th. That paid only £175,000. About $234,000. The difference was almost £200,000. Around $280,000. All because of a few trampled blades of grass. But the money was not the only loss. Bryson believed the penalty cost him a real chance at the Claret Jug, his first Open championship, the biggest prize in golf. He finished at 4 under par, 6 shots behind the winner, Ryan Fox of New Zealand. Fox played brilliantly, but Bryson could not shake the feeling that he was robbed. The fans had started to like Bryson again. He had become a more likable figure. The boos had turned to cheers, and now, this. One observer said, "He's in the red now, and not in a good way." That financial hit stung. But the bigger question is what this scandal means for Bryson's future. Bryson will move on. He has LIV Golf UK coming up. His Crushers GC team is chasing their 3rd triumph of the season. He will be back on the course soon. But this incident has opened up a bigger conversation. How are rules enforced when every shot is on TV? Should players be judged by camera angles they cannot control? Is it fair to penalize someone for something that might not even be intentional? Scheffler said something important. He said we need to get back to the traditions of the game. He said we need stricter policing, but he also said we need fairness, a balance. McIlroy said the penalty was justified. He said the rules exist for a reason. He said Bryson was careless, but he also said something else. He said Bryson is performative. He said Bryson is attention-seeking. That was personal. The locker room is now divided. Some players defend Bryson's character. Others say the penalty was justified regardless of intent. There is no middle ground. And here is the irony. Bryson DeChambeau spent years being booed, mocked, criticized. He finally won the fans over. He finally became the guy they cheered for. And then this happened. The 2026 Open Championship will be remembered for this moment. The drama, the confrontation, the divided opinions, and Bryson DeChambeau, once again, at the center of it all. Whether you believe he cheated or not, one thing is clear. Golf will never look at him the same way again.